Hello. I know you guys are expecting my Bible chats right now. And so it is still uploading. So I thought I would come on and talk to you in the meantime. I see I've got some people coming in. So I'm just trying to say hello because the Bible chats is still loading. And if you're new to my channel, we used to do the Bible chats at 4 o'clock on Fridays live, but due to squirrels and internet issues, we decided to start uploading them. And I try to leave them to do fresh on Friday mornings so that I can make sure that I'm including everybody's prayer request. But unfortunately, it is making it where it does not upload in time. So I am here today starting something that I hope will be able to be a part of our future, and it is Joy Blogs, which stand for Jesus, others, and yourself, which everyone who is getting to know me on my channel knows that joy is my word, and so it's all about joy. And so this is an opportunity to talk about whatever is on your heart. And if you want to talk about Jesus, if you want to talk about prayer request, if you want to talk about crochet, if you want to ask me a question about my life or anything in general, then this is your time. So I'm not sure who's with me, but I want to say hello, and I hope that you are having a great day or morning or night, depending on where you are. So if you don't mind just saying hello in the chat so I know who's with me. It's good to have you. So I see some more people coming in. Hello, Diane. How are you doing this afternoon? I don't know if you were on with me at the very beginning when I first came on. My Cup to Hook Bible Chats is available. And so it's cold. Where are you at? I'm in South Carolina, and yesterday it was in the mid 80s, and it's a little bit cooler today. I'm not quite sure. Iowa, what's the temperature like for you instead of the 4 o'clock? And so today I finished it right around probably 1:15, and it is still processing. I didn't edit anything on it because, like I said before, we were doing them as lives, but there was too much internet interruptions that was causing it to skip and jump and lag. So we decided to do it as uploads. But anyway, so since it's not ready just yet, I thought, why not come on? I know we have a couple more lives tonight, but in this moment, we're going to call it Joy Blogs, and we can talk about anything. It can be crochet, it can be about the Bible, it can be prayer request. So the weather, as Diane and I have been talking about, what's the weather like where you're at? So let me know what's going on. What's on your hook? What's on your heart? This is a time for you to talk about anything and everything that you would like to talk about. Any questions you may have, any questions you want to ask me about my crochet life, about my family. If there's a certain prayer request or, scripture you're looking for. I see a few people on, so I'm just going to say hello. I can't see who you are. If you want to just type hello so I know who you are, that would be great. Again, I apologize that the Bible study is not ready to upload and is still processing. It's on Proverbs chapter 9. It has 18 verses in it. And it talks about, the title is is Wisdom's Feast and Folly's Funeral. So for those of you who've been following along, it kind of gives us a little bit more insight on the blessings of wisdom and the fact of stepping away from folly, which is not having the ability to discern how to handle godly situations or ungodly situations. Hey, Lisa, how are you, love? Oh, Lisa, I need to, when I get off of here, I will go over and try to resend you that video that you and email that you and I've been talking about. I'm so sorry, love, that I forgot to go back and do that Wednesday afternoon. So I will definitely do that. Oh, why are you tired? I saw you this morning on Ginger's channel. So good to see you every morning. And I was replaying some of your videos, and you had been under the weather. So I was sorry to hear that. I hope you're doing better. And maybe that has something to do with why you're tired. Or were you up all night on Joe and Dana's show? You're a busy girl. Oh, well, that's right. Because, okay, that's right. So it is 4:11 p.m. here. So there's 5 hours difference. Oh, I'm glad you had a great week. So hopefully that means that you are feeling much, much better. Because I think some of those videos I was watching were a week or so ago, because I was trying to catch up. Hello, OMG Granny Square. How are you? So the reason that I am here this afternoon, just in case you're popping in, is, the Bible study normally pops up at this time frame. And we are no longer doing them live. We're doing them as uploads because the internet kept cutting in and out, and it was cutting fragments. And I just felt like when it came to the Bible, I wanted to make sure that there was no lag time or misunderstanding in something. So, so that's what that was, Lisa. You're recovering from your 24-hour live. Yes, that must have been what that was. Which I love you so much. You are always making my heart smile, Lisa. Well, this is the first time we've done this kind of joy blog, because normally at this time frame, I have a Bible study that pops up, and we're studying Proverbs, and we study a chapter a week. And right now, today, we're on chapter 9, and we were doing it live. But like I was saying, the internet would lag and cut in and out. And so as I was reading scripture, it might start with a verse and end with something different. And so I didn't want any miscommunication or misconception because of lag time. So we decided to do them as uploads. But unfortunately, when I wait till Friday morning to videotape them so that everything is current as far as prayer requests go, it's been causing it to not be, edited and ready through the process by 4 o'clock. And so I feel kind of bad about that. And so that's why I thought, well, I'll start this. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe I'll do a blog a day. And that way, if someone has something they want to share real quick, or crochet question or a prayer request, then this would be a great time to do that. And so, oh, thank you. I am in the process of trying to share some of that yarn. In fact, tonight, on my 7 o'clock live, I am going to be showing a little taste and talking about a fall giveaway that I'm going to be doing. And then, of course, I have another giveaway going on right now from my Women of Joy conference. And so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. That giveaway will end next Friday, a week from today, on the 7 o'clock live. We will draw 13 names because I have 13 things I'm giving away. Let's see. I aim to make at least one person smile one way or another. Oh, Lisa, you definitely do. And honey, that is actually what the Bible study was about today. That was my challenge to everyone is every day this coming week, try to bring joy to one person's life. And well, Lisa, you do that to so many. Granny Square, I love Proverbs. It's like God's own daily devotional, so it is great. Well, it's my first time, so I came by because I love chatting with like-minded people. Well, we are so glad to have you. So welcome to the Joyful Creations family. Ladybird gave a smiley face. OMG Granny Square, sorry I cut out there, was buffering. I'm in South Africa, so that might be too far to ship, I think. No, I just will have to dig deeper in my pockets. So if you win, you win. It was meant to be. Ladybird Love says, my aim is doing that daily, no time limit. Right? We should all be that way, Lisa. So we all need to be like you. OMG Granny Square. Ladybird Loves, is your name Lisa? Well, if so, then I now know it. Nice name. And her name is Lisa. And Ladybird Love says it is. So what part of South Africa are you in? And what is your name? Ladybird Love says, more of me. Oh, heck no. Girl, you are just a breath of fresh air, bright sunshine. We can never have enough of you. My name is, OMG says, my name is Ursula. Just saying, I know Ladybird Love says she's not good with names, but just so you know. So let me tell you something. I, in my lifetime, have had to always learn a lot of names, whether it was through my jobs or as a youth minister or as a missionary, as a school teacher. I felt like I was always learning names. And it's so funny because when I was a young girl in school, math was not my subject. English and science were my subjects. And I could retain all kinds of information. Excuse me. Well, now it seems like the older I get, I retain numbers. Like I see numbers and I have a photographic memory of numbers. I see names and words, goes in and out. So I have been working on something, and it is more or less for me, but I love it. It is actually, it's in a bag across the room, but I plan on showing it at my 7 o'clock live. But I have a notebook and I have started it, and I am going through all of my subscribers. And I had originally started a Excel spreadsheet, but I can't always get my fingers on that spreadsheet, especially if I'm on a live. And so what I've started doing is I've started creating a page in this notebook for each and every one of you, so that when I'm on a live or wherever I am, I carry it with me. When I'm on the road, when I go to work, it's in my car. So if I ever need it, I can run and put my hands on it. And it's in their alphabet. You guys are in there alphabetically. And so I have a section for each and every one of you, like, you know, what your channel is, what your name is, what your birthday is, if you've provided that, what your address, email, phone number, et cetera, et cetera. You know, if you have a wedding anniversary, or some of you have shared with me like the passing of your parents and things like that that are really difficult. I have all that in there so that I can get to know you better on my own time, but also when we're together. You know, if you've shared with me that you like Pepsi or you like Snicker bars or whatever, I have that so that I can build a better relationship with each and every one of you individually. All right, so let's see what everyone's saying here. And while I'm doing that, I want to write your name down as Ursula, so I've got that real quick, and then I'll read what everyone's saying. Because I have to make sure that you're in my book. All right, let's see. So Lisa Ladybird says, don't make me cry. Oh, I'm not trying to make you cry, honey, but you are. You are such a breath of fresh air. I know you just make my heart smile. OMG Granny Square, Miss Ursula says, Cape Town, close to Cape Town, about 30 kilometers away. We call it sunny South Africa. It is now going into summer here. Okay. Well, that is cool, though, because like we're going into fall. Well, we're sort of going into fall. Feels like summer still, at least here in South Carolina, which is where I'm at. So that is cool. So you are near Cape Town. See, I'm having to write all this down so I can put it in your page. And so this is October and you're starting summer. That's good to know. All right. Let's see. Ladybird Lisa says, fibro fog. Not sure what you mean by that. OMG Granny Square says, no problem. If you don't remember my name, I don't mind at all. I just have to say it, I think. Good manner, I think. Hey, hugs and kisses. So no problem not remembering. Oh, no, I want to try to remember. So Lisa says, oh, my, I have a page. You do have a page, love. OMG Granny Square says, I find the best way I remember names is to attend the individual person's live. And exactly like Lisa, I'm getting to know her that, Lisa, I almost don't need your page except for like remembering your birthday. Although without having my book, I do remember that your birthday is in December. And I want to say it's like around the 17th or 19th, but I do know that it's in December. So I agree with you, Ursula. The more we hang out together and whatnot, the more the mind does stay fresh. So, OMG Granny Square says, because then I don't forget you. It's like in the bank, they teach the teller the original banknotes. They don't teach them fakes. If they know the original, then they'll immediately recognize exactly a fake. And OMG Granny Square says, see, so that's good. And that is good. Ladybird Lisa says, or Lisa Ladybird says, my favorite word in the world is an, I don't want to mispronounce this, an African's word. Tot sins. I'm not sure what all that is. So explain to me, love. Educate me. Hello, Miss Kelly. How are you, my friend? You said that's too much. I'll stick to waving to all. Well, that's okay. Waves make my heart smile, as well as a little smiley face that you've got on there. Lisa says, I have fibromyalgia with the effect on my memory. It's called, fibrofog. Now I get it. Yes. I have some friends that deal with fibromyalgia, and oh my gosh, my friend, I did not know that about you. And of course, I'm sure that's something that you don't maybe just in everyday conversation tell somebody, but I know that that can allow for some really, really rough days at time and very painful days. So thank you for sharing that. I understand that. Let's see. OMG Granny Square says, hi, Kelly Platter. Hi there. OMG Square. Oh, yes, I remember, Lisa. Totsians. It means goodbye in Afrikaans, my mother tongue. Okay. Well, see, you guys have taught me something today. Okay, let's see. And Lisa told me it's African language, which equals Africans. Am I saying that right? I hope I'm saying that right. And Lisa Ladybird says, hypermobility and fibromyalgia and 4 crumbled vertebrae, all good fun. Oh my goodness, bless your heart. I did not realize that, Lisa. So even though I felt like I had been getting to know you pretty well over the last couple of months, we had not ever talked about this. I'm making notes. I have to add to your page. Oh. Well, if there's ever anything I can specifically ever pray for you about, please do not hesitate to tell me. And you and I have email exchange, so you know you can always email me as well. Lisa Ladybird says, just wondering what else you'd like on my page. Whatever your heart desires to share with me, my friend. You know, the more I know about you, if ever you come up in my subscriber giveaways or any of my other giveaways, I will know how best to make your heart smile and bring a ton of joy. You can tell me what your favorite yarn is, your favorite color, your favorite drink or pop, however you refer to it, your favorite candy bar. It's kind of funny because thinking about candy bars, that was in our Bible study today. So if you want to understand how candy bar ended up in the Bible study, you'll have to watch that whenever it finally uploads. Okay, so you're giving me stuff here. You've given me your birthday, but you've not given me, which you might want to email this, but your address. So who knows? I can maybe pop a birthday card over your way. And in your case, I would have to send it a little bit early so you get it on time. Ursula, if you want to share your birthday with me, again, I always recommend emailing me with like an address or whatnot. And my email address is located in the description box, which you'll see when this ends and it's uploaded. All right, so let's see what we've got going on here. So Lisa had asked me, just wondering what else you'd like on my page. OMG Granny Square gave a smiley face. And Ladybird Lisa says she loves blue, royal blue. All right. OMG Granny Square says, Lisa, your height, how tall are you? OMG Granny Square says, what color are your eyes? So Ladybird Lisa says she's 5'5'2" now, I think. Used to be 5'8", hazel eyes. Well, I'm sure the issues with your vertebrae have caused that shrinkage a little bit. I'm so sorry for you, my friend. I can't imagine the pain you must go through sometimes or day to day. All right, so she has hazel eyes. And let's see. OMG Granny Square says, what is your favorite yarn, Joy? Well, I'm asking, but you've got a wall of yarn, so my goodness. Well, in the beginning, and I've got it kind of divided into like acrylics to the baby softs, cakes, and cotton. But in the beginning, for the first probably, and I recalculated, I kept saying I've been crocheting for 17 years, but I went back and started really counting it. And to be corrected, only 15 years. But until probably 2 years ago, I only crocheted with Red Heart yarn because that's where my knowledge was. That's how limited my knowledge was. I never discovered YouTube until probably about maybe just under a year and a half ago. And so over the last 2 years, and I'm going to turn this way because all that was acrylic. So in the last 2 years, I have, and I'm still learning different yarn types. Like I have never used Premier and Ice Yarn. And that is like my dream to try because I hear people talk about it so much. But for what's on my wall, probably I've fallen in love with this Bernat Baby yarn right here. That's that crinkly type yarn. I have fallen in love with that. I love Caron Simply Soft yarn. Like, and that's a lot of it up here. Oh, you can't see it. It's right above my sign. And I love cakes of any kind. Especially like the sweet rolls and the DK colors and these mandalas. I really have fallen in love with these mandala yarns. But so I'm growing with y'all. So let's see. Let me back up and see what everyone's saying. Okay. Ladybird Lisa says address is on my about page. Okay, Lisa. So I will go get that. I have to make a note. All right. Let's see. Cheryl Hemming, hello. How are you? Welcome. Just real quick, this is normally the time slot that my Cup to Hook Bible chats, and we are studying Proverbs, is usually airing. And we have gone from doing it as a live to an upload because of all the internet squirrels and the lag time. And so, long story short, when I do those on Friday mornings to keep everything up to date, it's taking a long time for it to process in the editing process. And so it's not ready. And this is the second week that we've gone into it as an upload versus a live. So I thought, why not come on and just talk to you guys while it is processing? And who knows, maybe it'll be a brief everyday thing. Because my schedule's crazy. I work nights in an ER. I work in ER registration. So a lot of times when I'm working and awake, everybody's asleep, except for my friends that are across the world. They're up at that time. So, but anyway, all right, let's see. So we were saying hello to Cheryl Hemming. And OMG Granny Square says, I'm 1.81 centimeters. Don't know what that is in feet or inches. Ooh, I don't either. All right. So if we got a brainiac on here, help us out with how tall Miss Ursula is. Kelly says, Cynthia, is there any yarns you haven't tried but want to? Yes, Kelly. I would love to try ice yarns or the premier yarns, but ice yarns is like at the top of my list. I listen to Crystal with Bag a Day a lot. I listen to Krista with Secret Yarnery, and they in Creative Grandma, they talk so much, Glenda with Creative Grandma, about the ice yarns. And so I really want to try them. I do want to try Hobie. I tend to buy most of my yarn either at Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, or Hobby Lobby. I was a big AC Moore girl. Like when I started expanding outside of Red Heart, I found AC Moore and I fell in love. I became one of their VIP members. So at times I would go in and I would walk out with $300 worth of yarn and have paid like just a little over $100. So I'd get almost $200 free. And they got to know me very well. And long story short, most of the all the AC Moores have closed and have been bought out by Michael's. And so the nearest Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, any of that to me in one direction is an hour and 10 minutes away. And in another direction, it's about maybe 45 to 50 minutes away. So it's not like it's tangibly close, but not too far away that I can't go. So usually when I go, it's usually like a day trip. So I am going to eventually soon branch out and start ordering online. And when I do, I will definitely be going to ice yarns first. So Kelly, what's a yarn that you have never tried that you would like to try? And same thing with the rest of you. Let me know. All right, so let's go back to what everyone's saying. Lisa Ladybird says, Cheryl Hemlin, lovely, ain't it? And Cheryl Hemming says, yes, it is. Lisa Ladybird says, I can still walk and create smiles, so I am happy. Listen to you. You are just such a blessing. Oh my gosh. So ladies, if you've not been over to Lisa's channel, please go. And that's something, ladies, you can feel free to pop up your links in here, and I hope everyone will go over and support one another. Lisa, you are just such a joy. You really are. And if you're new to my channel, yes, I say joy a lot. My whole life is focused around joy because I feel like no matter what I'm going through, God is going to get me through, whether he walks with me and holds my hand, picks me up and carries me, or sends lovely people like you my way. I mean, I can always find something good in every single day. And every day, God gives me something to be blessed over. So joy is my word. And as you can see with this blog, joy stands for Jesus, others, and yourself. And that's exactly how I feel. So, and as you can see, you guys just always bring such a smile to my face. My face always hurts when I'm through visiting with all of you because you just make me smile. You make me so happy. So keep flexing these muscles for me. All right. Let's see. OMG Granny Square says, which is Miss Ursula, you're so right. I must look it up, but I only discovered YouTube about 10 years ago, but only really started being on YouTube since 2016. So really the last 4 years. So you've been on it longer than I have. So that means you have received way more many YouTube blessings. I live for YouTube right now. Like I literally I used to watch a lot of TV, especially, coming home from working in the ER. I had to kind of degress and clear my head and my thoughts from some of the things I've seen. And I thought that I couldn't live without those TV shows. And now I other than mainly the Braves games, which my poor Braves were one run away from going to the World Series this year. They haven't been since 1999, but I still watch my Braves games. But other than that, I am scrolling through YouTube all the time. And it's fun and it's great because not only am I learning new techniques, but the TV can't provide me friendship except for through YouTube. And so thank you for sharing that, Ursula. 4 years. Wow. And honestly, you taught me something. I didn't even know I don't even know how long YouTube has been around. That's how new I am. Silly girl I am. Where have I been? Under a rock? Of course, a lot of my jobs, I was so busy with youth ministry and other things like that that I didn't even really own a TV for a while. So, and running 2 hotels, I definitely had very little time for TV unless I was having to take a class. All right, so let's see. OMG Granny Square says, what do you love to make with the Mandela yarns? Because I am only experienced with them over the last 2 years, the main things that I had made with them were baby blankets, but now I am starting to expand out and I have been making some shawls. And so a couple baby sweaters. I've made a couple little baby hats with them and little booties. I've also recently started making kind of not necessarily the amigurumis, but like the little lovelies that are like, the little snugglies for kids and babies. So those are some of the things I've been making with them. Have any suggestions? OMG Granny Square says, I'm planning on taking a day like a Monday to unplug from social media and just catch up on videos of all my new YouTube friends. I know, right? I, too, am trying to work on a schedule, especially since my day job, my ER job, I have one long week where I work almost every day. I work 12-hour shifts at night. I go in at 7 p.m. Eastern time and I get off at 7 a.m., which really actually is more like 6:30 p.m. and 7:30, 7:45 a.m. sometimes. But I'm trying to do the same thing. On my days off, I'm trying to set up like the recording studio time, YouTube time, and I'm still trying to outline lives that are like every day or every week, so that I can make sure I start catching them. But if not, that's the glory of being able to watch the replay, especially at night in the ER when we've kind of slowed down, which is a word we don't use. We don't use the word slow or quiet. But if that happens, then I am definitely on my tablet watching YouTube and catching up on videos to help stay awake. So good idea, Ursula. All right. Okay. So OMG Granny Square, Ursula says, I looked it up. It's 5 feet 9 inches. All right. So we know how tall Lisa is. We know how tall Ursula is. I am 5'4". I have been 5'4" since I was probably in the 7th grade. And I am now 51. So let's see. OMG Granny Square says, my goodness, I would also make a day trip of it if my closest yarn store is that far. Now, we do have a Walmart right here that's like maybe 5 minutes away, But unfortunately, that Walmart has very little yarn. They have more fabric than they do yarn. They have, and you know how Walmarts are set up, they have like a shelf. We have like 4 shelves in this one little section, and that holds all the yarn, whether it's chunky, the red heart, the mainstay, the cotton yarn. I mean, it has very little. And on a good day, you might find 3 of the same colorway. But most of the time, it's like one skein here and there. So it's really hard to get yarn for like a major project. So, and then there's the next Walmart that's close to me is probably about 25 minutes away. So, but it's not a 24-hour Walmart. So you have to make sure you go during certain times. Of course, right now, all of our Walmarts here in the little portion of South Carolina that I live in, they open later and they close earlier because of COVID. They're still following the COVID policy. So even our 24-hour Walmarts are not 24 hours anymore. All right. OMG Granny Square says, that is true, Cynthia. We are the hands and feet of Jesus. So when an opportunity comes along to be there for someone, we do it. It is a privilege. And it really is. What a great way to say that. Kelly Platter, what yarn weight do you prefer? And yes, I miss AC Moore. I know, right, Kelly? I mean, they were the bomb diggity. To me, they were like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And well, I love Michaels, and I'm so thankful that they're here, because without yarn stores, you know, we couldn't easily, tangibly go grab yarn. We'd have to do it all online. I really had higher expectations that when Michaels bought over AC Moore, and the reason I liked AC Moore more than Michaels was simply for the mere fact that AC Moore seemed to have a higher variety of yarn in the store, where Michaels actually surpasses them with the quality and the amount of yarn they have, but you have to go online to purchase it and then have them ship it to the store and you go pick it up. Where with AC Moore, you could walk in and it was literally like a yarn store within a craft store. And so I've been a little bit slightly disappointed that with them taking over AC Moore, that they don't have more product in the store. And just for example, a lot of these Bernat baby coordinates and these Kai yarns, this is another yarn. Whoops, it got caught, so it pulled it out. But these Kai yarns from Loops and Thread, I have fallen in love with these. And Michael still sells them, but you can only get them online. You can't just walk into the store and purchase them anymore. And so it's just, I don't know. Anyway, but I'm still thankful. I'm thankful that we still have yarn stores. I just wish I had more girlfriends physically and locally that lived here that I could pick up and say, hey, I'm coming to pick you up and we're going to spend the day to go yarn shopping. I don't have that. And that's why I actually started my YouTube channel. So my husband does go shopping with me a lot, but it's not the same as a gal pal or a guy pal that actually crochets and can get excited about seeing the yarn, feeling the yarn, smelling the yarn. I mean, my husband, he's now on board. At first, he just thought I was kind of loony and whatever. If the wife is happy, I'm happy kind of thing. But now he gets excited with me, but it's still not the same because he doesn't actually crochet, knit, or anything like that. So anyway, I think he's more happy because I'm happy. All right, let's see. I know I'm getting behind, so let me try and get us caught up here. What yarn weight do you prefer? Kelly asked. I've really spent more of my 15-year career with 4 weight and 3 weight. I need a lot more practice with the 2 weight. And the lace yarn, I do okay with the lace yarn when I'm making like my keychains, which I do hope to do a tutorial on very, very soon. If not, definitely by next spring. The pocket shawl that I just created, and I am so, so hoping that Wednesday, all of that's going to debut next Wednesday for Wednesday on the Hook, is the first time I've used like a bulky, chunky yarn. And it was fun. It was a whole different experience, but most of the time I use probably somewhere between a weight of 3, 4, the medium 4 weight. So tell me about you guys. What type of yarn do what weight do you normally use? And what's your favorite yarn? Tell me what's a yarn that you have not used that you would like to use or try. All right, so let's see here. OMG Granny Square Ursula said, I only started a channel 2 months ago, but I've been watching a lot. I love to watch my favorite pastors preach and soaking in the word. Absolutely. Amen. My church has finally opened back up to the public. Of course, we've got a social distance. I go to the church that I grew up in, and it's actually an hour away from me. But right now, with COVID still strong, there's a lot of older folks in my church. I have been just enjoying the online version right now, simply because even though I'm not, COVID positive, I just always fear that what would happen if I ended up carrying it, and I would not want to give it to someone. Plus, to be forthright and honest, I only have 2 Sundays a month off. And sometimes I don't even have that because we've been very shorthanded. But I try to use that time to really enjoy the relationship with my husband, because we don't get a lot of time together. He works days and I work nights. We both work 12 hours. So literally we are 2 ships passing in the night. He's coming in, I'm going out. And some days we don't even get to have that passing. And so he is my best friend in the whole wide world. And sometimes our communication is done by text. So Sundays are usually kind of like a honey day date. And we do occasionally take our dogs, our adopted 4-legged daughter and our granddaughter that we're keeping from my middle son, who's a Marine in Yuma, Arizona. And sometimes we'll take them to the park or on a nature trail and go hiking and just kind of spend the day just reflecting on, life, family, love, and all that. So I have not been physically in church through this COVID time, but I don't know where I would be if my pastor was not uploading a video every Sunday. So I'm very thankful for that. So you are so correct, Ursula. OMG Granny Square says, I think it probably depends on the buyer. We have, for example, a small store nearby. I didn't expect much, but when I shopped there, I saw that the buyer there really knows how to stock that shop. Oh, well, that's good. I have discovered a store that is kind of like what you're describing. It's not a store like Michael's or whatnot. It's a privately owned, and it's probably about maybe 2 hours from me. And I'm going to go check it out, because if it is as great as they're saying, because she has everything. She has some of that ice yarn, that premier yarn, hand-dyed yarn, things like that, yarn that I've never even heard of and experienced. And so I'm excited to go check her out. So I will definitely be keeping y'all posted on that. But I'm glad you have that, Ursula. Lisa Ladybird says, ditto at OMG Granny Square. And the one that's closest, 30-minute drive for someone that can, has one brand cotton and one brand all other. And they are nothing exciting. Oh, that is sad, Lisa. Kelly says, Walmart yarn stinks here too. I don't know if that's just Walmart across the board in general. I mean, it just seems like, I don't know. I mean, the craft section is not their, I guess, competitive edge for them. But like in my case, our Walmart is the closest to the next competitor, period. And it's a distance. So maybe because it doesn't have that competitive edge, but there was a Walmart that I was driving to in what's called Simpsonville, South Carolina, which is near Greenville or Spartanburg, if anyone's familiar with South Carolina. And it's probably about an hour and 10 minutes from me. And it used to be like phenomenal. And even they've kind of declined a little bit. So Hobby Lobby seems to have more selection right now. If I were to compare Walmart and Michael's and Joann's. So maybe that's something I'll do one day, is when I do go the next time and I hit all of them, I'll do a little video tour. All right. I apologize. Let me get caught up here. OMG Granny Square Ursula says, I love three-weight. Here we call it double knit. In the UK, it is also called double knit. Hey, Lisa. Lisa would know that because she's in the UK. I've had to look it up this morning on a guide that put it all out. USA have yarns that we don't have. Oh, so like what are some of the yarns that we have that you don't have? That would be interesting to know. Lisa says, yes, OMG Granny Square. 3 is a DK here too. Oh, wow. Okay. OMG Granny Square says, it is very important to connect with your husband. That is really a God's will too. I do believe it. I have a responsibility to nurture my kids and hubby. And I do agree with that so much. And he is an amazing guy. I mean, I know I've shared a little bit in my journey, of some of the yarn hauls that he has gotten from me without me being with him, even from Walmart. But like, he is really the rock right now in our family. All of my boys have moved out. I have a 21-year-old, 23-year-old, and 25-year-old. My 21-year-old just rented his first house now coming up on the 3rd month. And it just seems, so surreal. But my 23-year-old began his military career last September when he left for boot camp. He's now finished all of his training, and he's been 3 months on his first assignment in Yuma, Arizona. And my oldest son lives about maybe 30 minutes from me. And he and his wife, Angel, have been married for 2 years this past September. They are expecting their first child, my first grandbaby, November 30th. And so it's just my husband and I. And he comes in, he keeps the house clean right now. He's doing all of our laundry for the most part. He's keeping up with all the cooking, which were all things that I used to do and maintain. But between working the hospital and covering extra shifts and my podcast, he has been my backbone, and he is my greatest supporter. Like I said, my best friend. And I have had to make sure that, I am setting aside time for him, that he knows how much I appreciate him and how much I love him, and that he matters, and that what he does matters. And so, because like I said, he's working a full-time job as well. He works mostly 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, and he's working 12-hour shifts, and he works in a lumber mill. So he is not only on his feet running all the time, but he is dealing with heavy lumber. And so he has a physically demanding job, and he is a mighty giant. So I agree with you 100%, Ursula. Lisa says, I really need to get under the duvet. I bid you all a good one. And Lisa, you probably left that a hot minute ago. Love, I bet you are exhausted, especially because probably now it's getting close to 10 o'clock at night for you. So sweet dreams, my friend. You are just an amazing, beautiful person inside and out. So good sleeping for you. We will miss you. Take care. And I will send you that email. Okay. Kelly says, yes, me too, about having yarn shopping buddy. Distance stinks, LOL. Kelly, where are you at? Wouldn't it be amazing if God had us close to one another? Girlfriend, I would come pick you up in a hot minute. OMG Granny Square says, I sort of mean that. If the buyer is not really a yarn lover and is more interested in crafts, etc., then they will sort of neglect the yarn section and it will show. Yarn lovers will pick up on it. No, exactly. You are so correct there. And if they're not a yarn lover, not only do they not really pay attention to yarn, but they don't pay attention to the variety. And even as we were talking earlier, the different weights, So yeah, I'm really excited and anxious. And I know we're not supposed to be anxious about anything, but I think you understand what I'm saying about trying to make that 2-hour trip. And my husband already said he would go with me to go check them out and see what this little private store owner has to offer. So I'm excited. And from what I hear, she has like all kinds of accessories, meaning like the crochet hooks, the knitting needles, the stitch markers, the bobbins, et cetera, the looms, the knits, which I've never done a loom. I have a couple looms and I've never used them. And I mean, I know one of them I've had probably 10 years. One of them, I've probably had, I don't know, 6, 7 years. I got them when Walmart first shut down and weren't going to really have a craft section other than needle and thread. And they were getting rid of everything. I bought them back then, but I've never tried them. But now that YouTube is my, smorgasbord, I'm sure I can find a tutorial. But you are so right, Ursula, about that. You said, my husband also does so much. He cannot sit still, and in lockdown, he just took over. But you're working in the hospital, so it's important. I think he really understands that. And he does. He does. And he also understands that, even though it is a clock in, clock out job, and I come home, sometimes, I mean, obviously there are all emergencies or someone wouldn't come to the ER, although I could tell you stories that you would shake your head like why they came to the ER for something. And we get a lot of people that do come in there for work excuses and stuff. But when you have these true heartfelt emergencies come through and you're having to deal with families and help them through grief, and especially with COVID and not being able to have visitors, and they just started opening it up where they can have one visitor and it's still limited, and you have to check everybody's temperature, and it's awkward. You're pointing this thermometer at their foreheads and you feel like you're holding a gun to their head, and it's just crazy. But sometimes it's hard to walk away and leave that situation there. And Tuesday was a prime example. And unfortunately, due to HIPAA and their protection of their rights, I can't go into a whole lot. But Tuesday morning, an hour before I got off work, we had a situation come in, and it was tough. And I kid you not, I sat in my car for 45 minutes before I ever left the parking lot. And after I had been in there probably about a good 20, 25 minutes, just praying and trying to process what I had just seen and experienced, I went on to Ginger with the Yarn Geeks live for the second time. And today was like, I think, my 4th morning joining her. But anyway, just hanging out with everyone and talking with them and just listening to their conversation helped kind of bring me back and refill my joy tank and take away that sorrow and that grief. And nobody died, but again, I apologize, I can't go into detail, but what I'm getting at is it it brought me back to a place of good and reminded me that God is always in control, and that I fully believe that for all of us, wherever our 2 feet are planted in a given moment, that is exactly where God wants us. And that is our mission field in that exact moment. And I don't feel like that we end up in places by mistake, you know? So anyway, enough said on that. But yes, my husband is, I'm very blessed. That's something I don't take for granted. Cheryl, thank you. She said, congratulations on becoming a grandmother. I am so excited. We are having a little girl, and my son and his wife are still processing on a name. They still have it narrowed down to 3. And my last insight on that was she will have a name by the time she's born. They are still processing between Coraline, Violet, or Ivy. So, OMG Granny Square had told Lisa good night. Kelly says, OMG Granny, go to lovecrafts.com to get some US yarns. Oh, thank you, Kelly, for sharing that with her. All right. OMG Granny Square says, we can feel anxious, but it's what we do with that anxiety, hey? So not just feeling anxiety. I was so anxious starting my channel. Oh, wow. But by his grace, I did it. I must go now, late here, 11 p.m. Oh, well, I guess so, because you're on that same side as Lisa. So thank you for joining me today. It was such a delight to have you. I look forward to getting to know you more. And sweet dreams to you as well. And thank you for sharing everything that you did. Kelly says, Niagara Falls, New York. Yeah, love, we're a little bit of a distance away, but I may come see you one day, because my family has all been to Niagara Falls, but I have not. Only in their pictures and their stories have I been there. So that is definitely something my husband and I both would like to do, is visit Niagara Falls. So who knows, maybe that'll be our first trip when the day comes and we buy our 5th wheel. OMG Granny Square says, I really enjoyed our chat, and it's great to speak to someone who is of like mind. Have a lovely evening. You too, love. To find Christians in this crochet community was quite refreshing. I totally and completely agree, 100%. OMG Granny Square, Cynthia, I don't see anybody else's comments, just saying. Also a sound delay. I leave you with, I have 2 kids diagnosed with autism, so I've got another channel where I share my journey. I hope that if you're by any chance still here, and you may not be because I see you've said good night, I would love to find that channel and be a part of your journey there. So if you come back on the replay, definitely let me know. Cynthia, I don't, okay. OMG Granny Square says, raising these 2 kids like a book, but I'm telling the story. Oh, that is beautiful. Have a good night. Oh, that's a beautiful story in itself. Cheryl says, God bless you, OMG Granny Square, right? And I apologize. I'm writing some of this stuff down. Autisms are shades of green. I have heard that. I have heard that. And you said both of them have autism? Bye, love. I'll have to follow up with her later and find out more. And maybe I can find that channel. Trying to go back and read real quick what she said. I have 2 kids. Yes, she did say 2 kids that are diagnosed with autism. I apologize. I'm trying to write some quick notes, because I don't know if you guys were here, the ones that are still with me, that I have created a notebook, and I'm going to be showing it at my 7 o'clock live. So I'm going to be going here real soon. But that I've created a page. I'm creating a page for everybody. My friend has a 4-year-old with autism. She made a green glittery keychain for him. Oh, I'm telling you what, I have worked with some autistic children, and they are so loving. And you talk about having all heart, like all heart. I'm telling you what, they have been some of my greatest teachers in my life. So I know that having an autistic child comes with challenges, but it also has some of the greatest blessings and joy. Kelly says, woohoo, soon as COVID clears so I can give you a big hug. I know, right? Right? So Kelly, my book is across the room, which is shame on me. But then again, this whole live was unexpected. When I realized that the Bible study was not going to be uploaded on time again, I decided to come up and create this, and I ran and made a thumbnail for it and literally jumped on right after and didn't even think about getting my book out of my work bag. But I'm pretty sure that you have provided me your birthday. So if not, if you will do that, but I'm pretty sure that you have, if my memory serves me correctly. And anyone else that's on here, if you want to share your birthday, I would love to have it. I'm thinking, Kelly, oh, I wish my mind was better. You either just had a birthday or you're the one. Oh gosh, I'm recognizing somebody tonight at 7 for their birthday, and I want to say it might even be you. So I am pretty sure you have given me your birthday. Well, does anyone have any more yarn questions or prayer requests? Again, I apologize that Bible study is not up and ready just yet. I will get it up as soon as it is finished processing. And I'll just have to try and work on scheduling that better since we're doing it as an upload. For some reason, of all the videos that I upload and have to process right now, it is the one that's taking the longest, and it's the one that has no edits in it at all. And so I don't know if that's the devil, but you know what? Like I said in the Bible study today, there is no place for him on my playground of life. And so he can try as he might, but one way or other, at some point in time, that video will be up and we will be blessed. All right. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes to see if anybody wants to share anything crochet, any prayer requests, anything personal about their life, or any questions they want to ask me. Kelly Platter said, and when you do, I'm taking you yarn shopping. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, how fun will that be, Kelly? And yes, I did. It's next Wednesday, so it is you. Okay, so I have to not be so hard on myself. Because when I was sitting there thinking about it, I was like, I'm pretty sure. And so I have my Friday night basket over there that I keep everything in, and all the notes that I've taken throughout the week for what we discuss. And so I have all that over there. And so I knew that there was someone that I was going to be recognizing tonight. So if you're free at 7 o'clock, be sure and come join me so that you can hear all of us wish you a wonderful and happy birthday. Well, it is 5:14 p.m. here, so I am going to go ahead and say bye for now. I had turned my phone off during the Bible chats, so I know at this point of the day, anywhere between 5:15 and 6 o'clock, my husband will call in because no matter what, he always calls me when he gets off work. So if I don't get to see him, then I always get to hear him. And he takes a few minutes to just kind of share his day with me and whatnot. So I know that he could be calling anytime soon. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and that way I can get ready for tonight. We do have a 7 o'clock live. The Bible study will be coming up as soon as it is finished processing. But at 7 o'clock, we have a live for our Cup to Hook conversations, and that is all crochet talk. And then at 9 o'clock, we come together and we discuss the Netflix movie that we're watching at called Longmire, which on Mondays, if you're not aware of this, on Mondays we do a crochet along, and it is an uploaded video, and we are creating a Longmire Native American blanket. So definitely check that out if you have not already. Cheryl says, I would like to request prayer for my two brothers. They're both having physical problems. Also pray for my husband for sickness and salvation. Absolutely, Cheryl. So let me grab a piece of paper to start. All right, so Cheryl. And Cheryl, thank you for sharing that. All right. So and Cheryl, I will be praying for your brothers and your husband throughout the week, but we will also pray for them on the video next Friday as well. So know that they will be definitely covered in my prayers until then. All right, let's see here. And then your husband. All right, Kelly says, now I have a quest to get you some new yarns. Oh, that makes my heart smile, Kelly, because I do want to venture out. And the thing is everything that I experience, I get to experience with you guys because I want to come back and share it with you. And it's so funny. I have been completely humbled, and I'm going to try not to get emotional. I can tend to be an emotional person. I have grown up in church my whole life, and I have had a very deep, meaningful relationship with the Lord for 40 years. 41, because I'm 51 now. I was 10 when I fully understood and grasped what it meant to have God in my life and to accept Jesus as my personal Savior and what it meant to walk with Him daily. But as I've gotten older, I've had to learn that Christ is the only perfect person who ever walked the face of this earth. And I am my worst critic. And I knew we were going to get off, but I'll say this and try to be brief. I felt like I always had to live the perfect life. And as a youth minister, sometimes I struggled because the kids in my group would go through things, and I was constantly asking God, how is it that you've called me to lead these kids when I've not experienced certain things that they have. I don't understand the struggles they're going through. But yet he would use me. Just like Moses, just like Noah, he equips us to be used by him. And kind of what I'm talking about is, to this day, I'm 51. I've never even held a cigarette, much less smoked one. I was 27 years old when I lost my virginity. And let's see, what else? I've never done drugs. I was 23, I think, when I tasted my first alcohol. I'm not a big drinker, and it's not because I don't like it. I mean, I enjoy a margarita here and there, but it's just not something I have to have. And I felt like I always had to be perfect. Everybody had to see me perfect. And in church, I felt like I had to look a certain way. And when I was not in church, I felt like I had to look a certain way. Even with my crochet, I felt like you guys can only see certain things. Like, I can't let y'all see when I have to frog something. But I've been honest with y'all on my Elvis blanket, which I hope next week on my off week I really get to pick up again, because I miss working on it. At one point, I frogged it 6 times. This pocket shawl that I'm creating, oh my gosh, I think before I finally started getting something together that I liked, I know I frogged it at least 8 times. But I should have got on and shared that with y'all. And so I'm learning, even after 41 years of walking with the Lord, that you know what? It's in our ugly that God uses us and makes us so beautiful and so real. And so I'm learning, even after all of this and the knowledge and the grace that he's given me for so many years of my life, in all areas of my life, with my crochet, with my Christian walk, with my husband, my children, my dogs, whatever. I need to rip off all these masks that I sometimes feel like I have to wear and hide behind and just be me. Because for every mask I put on, whether I intentionally or unintentionally do it, for every thought that I feel like I have to be perfect, because maybe I'm not the most beautiful person or the skinniest person or the greatest crocheter or the best wife or the got it all together mom, that every time I put on a mask, it's like saying that I doubt that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm doubting what God has given me the ability to do. And I'm giving Satan, with each mask that I put on, more power and control of my life. And so, other than the mask that I have to wear because of COVID, I'm trying to let that be the only mask that I have on. So I'm hoping, or not hoping, but I'm planning going forward that when I'm creating and designing these projects, that I'm going to, even if they're bonus videos, get on and show you the uh-ohs and the mistakes. Because if I make uh-ohs and mistakes in my crochet or in my life, in my walk with the Lord, then surely somewhere someone else is too. And we can learn and grow and fix together. All right, so I've been blabbing away again. Let me see what you guys are telling me. Okay. So on a lighter note, Kelly Platter says, now I have a quest to get you some new yarns. Cheryl says, thank you. Oh, Cheryl, you're welcome. It is my pleasure and my honor to pray for your brothers and your husband, and to trust me with those prayer requests is not something that I take lightly. I wholeheartedly believe in the power of prayer. And when I commit and tell somebody that I'm going to pray for them, I now have an obligation and a responsibility because I've committed to that. And for you to trust me with these delicate matters in your life, I mean, it is something that I take on with a heavy heart. So thank you. I thank you, but you are more than welcome. It's October 28th. You'll be 52. We're close to the same age. And so you are the one that I am definitely wishing a happy birthday on my 7 o'clock live, which is coming up quickly, but that was huge for me to share what I just shared. A lot of people in my lifetime have called me the girl with the glued on smile, the girl with no problems. And yes, I truly live a life that I believe everything I face, that God wants to be right there in the center of it with me. I not only believe that, I do truly try to live that. But with that being said, I also, in my mind, because we all know we can't hide from God. I mean, if you don't believe me, ask Adam and Jonah. I mean, they got some real stories to tell you that you can't hide from God. But you know how we think we can. That sometimes I feel like when I come before him, you know, that he don't really want to hear all my concerns. And that's redunculous, because he does. He not only wants to hear them, he wants us to be specific. And in that relationship that we have with him, that's what makes it so personal and so intimate. And so I am truly learning to bow before him as Cynthia, and not Cynthia with this mask, and this mask. Because even though I think he can't see me, oh, he sees me. He sees me, he sees me, he sees me. And sometimes he calls me out on it. And that's something he's really been calling me out on lately. And so that is why it is my pleasure to even bring this Proverbs Bible study, because it is a growth for me, as well as sharing it and walking it with you guys. Okay. So I've been on here a lot longer than I intended. I don't plan on our blogs always being this long, but this was a great, great time together. Very humbling for me. Still smiling. Cheeks are still hurting a little bit. I'll tell you what, y'all gonna have my face firmed up with all this exercise that's happening, with this upward motion that's going on. So me tightening my jawline for me. So thank you for that. I love you guys. I hope that you are able to come back and join me at 7 o'clock, and maybe again at 9 o'clock, to just hang out and crochet and talk about Longmire. Even if you've not watched it, it's just a great, wholesome, clean time. I am praying about something. I don't know yet if it's something I'm going to do. I've talked with a couple other people on their lives about it, especially Granny D, because she does it. But I've been praying about finding some wholesome stories and reading them as like an audio, because I have several YouTube friends that can't see. And it would be a great opportunity to bring a creative environment to them while they crochet. Yes, they can't see and they crochet. Isn't that amazing? I'm telling you what, when you put your heart and mind to something, I mean, you can conquer anything. I mean, God is so good, and he gives us so much. He equips us in ways that we just can't even fathom, unless we're fully relying on him. And so even if people can see, sometimes it's nice. I know that I sometimes listen to audio videos right now on YouTube, and it's just a nice, quiet way to relax and kind of separate ourselves from COVID and all the craziness that's going on. And so if I can find another avenue to just, humbly bring some joy to somebody's way, a little bit of sunshine, then I will. But that is something I'm still praying about. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's something that I'm waiting for God to lead and guide me. So I guess that could be a prayer request from me. So, all right. I'm going to say bye for now. I love you guys so much. You are absolutely amazing and a beautiful, beautiful, unexpected gift. So take care. There's the husband. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.